You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
What's up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to another episode of the Hello Sport Podcast. Home of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. Big old fucking dribble and yarn fest today. It's a Thursday morning. We've recorded it Wednesday afternoon. Because I fucking was so hot and horny for this chat, Eddie, and this might shock people because I know I'm monk, I decided to have a drink.
Listen. There was four hot, horny men sitting in a fucking room together.
Thick studs.
Really, really gorgeous, fucking delectable men.
Yeah.
Three of them had fucking stiff tequilas on the rocks. When I say on the rocks, punters and dribblers, I'm talking those big, thick, spherical cubes.
Things that'd sink the Titanic.
You know those cubes I like, baby? There was three hot, fucking sweaty studs. Like oozing cum, drinking straight
Leonardo
tequila.
DiCaprio and Kate Winslet were seen fucking on one of them. That's how big those things were.
And then Tommy Burns, Mr. Monk, sees hot, horny man with devils on their shoulders and goes, fuck this angel shit.
Yeah, no. Listen, I decided to go to the dark side, jumped on the tequila train with the boys. Now, listen, we've got two of the biggest podcasts in the goddamn country, podcasters in the goddamn country, right?
One banner, two blokes.
One banner, two blokes. Alphas. You know where we're going with this?
Alpha blokes.
You know where we're going? Hey? You know
Are
where
they
we're
alpha
going?
blokes? I'll
They're
let you decide,
Queenslanders.
bruh.
They're big, they're thick, they're good boys, they're good friends. The Alpha Blokes.
Here they are. Before we fucking jump into the Alpha Blokes, just a bit of housekeeping.
Yeah, let's ruin the nice intro. Let's ruin it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Let's ruin the intro.
You know what? I'm gonna ruin it because I like to keep things tidy, Tom, and I like to do my fucking job.
Right.
Shout out to our brethren as part of the Goers Run Club who are going out there next Sunday, going to fucking battle, going to war, fucking put their sacks and flaps on the line,
Yeah.
all right?
No, flaps are on the line.
Yeah, flaps are on the line next weekend. Running 42.16 of the very best.
I actually think it's a hazard. They're actually saying you got to tuck them in, otherwise you
Tuck your flaps in and your sacks. What I'm saying is, if you want to pick up your Goers Run Club shirts, right? Listen here, cunts, and listen good. I'm not saying it again. I'll probably say it on Monday, but I'm not saying it again today. The venue, Alexandria, 75 and 86 O'Riordan Street, Alexandria. We are not working Thursdays, not our cup of tea. But on Friday and Saturday, between the times of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., all right, you can go there, get your fucking bib, get your bullshit.
your T-shirt, not your
No, but get all your other bullshit. Get all your other marathon-related bullshit. But also go get your Goers Run Club shirt. It'll make you run, half an hour quicker at the least, okay?
Your nips won't bleed on the run. You can guarantee that.
I'm not going to repeat it. You can just go back and listen to it again, okay? Now,
Rewind it.
without further ado, the Alpha Blokes.
We good? Fuck, everyone's having a tequila?
Yeah.
I thought I'd get a bit naughty, had a couple of
The
beers.
boys wanted to get a bit naughty. And
Well, then I'm having a fuck.
Oh,
he's doing it.
Wait,
So we live now?
I tell you what, the
I'd say-
fucking the big ice blocks just do it for me, eh?
they'll change your life, won't they?
That is
Sophia
unreal.
ice cubes.
So how does that run in the freezer? Is it like
So you get these like silicon ball shapes, and then there's just like a little hole at top.
What are you pulling out now?
And you just slowly drip the water in from the tap, and then you go in and they just freeze overnight, and they're unbelievable. Because you know those pissy little cubes, like the cube stuff, they melt too quickly.
They
Then
do.
it gets really diluted, whereas these stay strong and true for ages. They're fucking terrific.
Have you ever run those ones? Oh yeah, nice.
Get yourself some of them.
Yeah, that is fucking great, isn't
Grab
it?
your set of tits and freeze them.
Boy, actually, look at that.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop it. I'll change your life, those things.
No, we will
Especially
definitely-
if you're partial to a tequila like Tom and I are, they're
Not
an
an ad
absolute
either,
game
that.
changer.
Not an ad, but fucking.
No, it's not an ad.
I will be getting stuck into them.
What, Patron? Oh, man. Oh, no, the ice, yeah.
No, we are drinking Patron.
Yeah.
Cheers,
fuck
boys.
Cheers. Good on you, boys. Cheers, bros.
Tommy. Good of you to come on, boys.
Oh,
Obviously
for sure,
down here
lads.
for the UFC this Sunday.
Yes,
We
very
had a
keen.
really nice time together in Perth when Volk was robbed against Islam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you see a repeat of that sort of form this weekend, boys, out of you?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. It was one of those things where, although he was robbed, it hasn't hurt his stock, has it?
Oh, no, fuck
the Volkanovski stock could not be higher at the moment.
Name a bigger alpha in Australia.
Mate, that bloke is just the epitome. Like, if you could pick one bloke to represent Australia, it would be Volkanovski for me.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
He's just a fucking absolute weapon. You know?
But there's a bit of a perfect storm for all of us as well in Perth. Like, I'd never been there before. Phenomenal place. Not too big. Like the Goldilocks zone of places to go and fucking rip and tear. It's not too big. It's not too small. There's enough going on. And then we all just converged and fucking had a bit of a time.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like we sort of nailed it with the casino because everyone that was fighting was staying at the casino, but I don't think that's the vibe for Sydney this weekend.
Nah,
like,
it's a
not
little
everyone's
different.
going to the casino to stay.
Plus, I'm a balcony man.
And it was 11 grand for fucking 3 nights.
and you know, I like a balcony when I'm ripping and tearing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
dude,
being
you
able to
need
get
one.
out and fucking smell the fresh air.
We
and-
were talking about that actually on Monday. We were in Melbourne because the hotel we're at didn't have a balcony. And I'm like, mate, where possible, you need a balcony.
You need fresh air. You need to be able to get out and feel the wind on your face, or at least a breeze. I'm not a big wind guy, but I enjoy a nice breeze.
Yeah.
And the fact that these fucking hotels don't have balconies is insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really rate them, eh? For if you're there for a few days as well, and you want to just change it up a bit, smell the fresh air, do a bit of people watching. I'm a big fan of people watching.
Love people watching.
Fucking,
I'm a
that's-
wind bloke too.
Yeah.
I love just going good southeasterly blowing through today. Down the flats.
So you can read the wind. I can't tell what the wind's doing at any point.
Yeah, I did one kiteboarding lesson and he showed me. Never got on the board, just worked the kite for an hour.
And so what, now you're a wind expert?
Yeah, because he had to learn the wind tables. He sent me all this stuff the day before that I had to go through, but all I was doing was land the kite on the beach, picking it up, and then self-water rescuing yourself. So you'd be out in the water and you'd have the kite up in the air and you'd have to drag yourself back if you lost your board. That's as far as I got. Never went back for
Never
another
went
lesson.
back. Did you see a video the other day? I saw it popped up on the Instagrams of a kite surfer stuck in a fucking storm front.
Oh.
He's on a beach and he's been, they get air and shit.
Yeah.
This guy's been sucked up as a storm's just hitting this beach and he just gets blown. People are filming on the beach and he just gets blown back over into the fucking city, into the town.
Fucking hell.
You don't see the end of it.
And what? So you know, no
video
telling what
ends.
happened to him.
The video ends. Cliffhanger of fucking doom. But I'm like, what's happening?
Was he? Was the wind like holding him up, or was he out of control?
He was being held. He was just floating there for a period of time. He's just sitting there, and it looked like a fucking alien. He's just hovering.
How high was he? Should he have let go?
High. No. Too high. Too high. We're in big trouble.
So what I figured out on me one lesson, boys, is like the harder you pull down on the handlebars, the tighter the 4 lines get, and that's how you lift yourself off the ground. So if you're freaking out, I'm still going to be hanging onto a bar.
That bloke would have
Yeah, but also once you're up in there, how do you even pull down any tighter? Like
Well, you're meant to release. You have to push forward to release like the lines off, so you got the slack.
counterintuitive. It's like steering into a skid.
Like a local bloke ended up on the oyster rocks. Like just for not releasing the quick release, just getting dragged over the oyster rocks.
Oh fuck!
What I did love about Western Australia, just ducking back to that, was
We can duck back there.
No, if it's okay, was like the place just fucking turned it on. Like every
did.
single joint that you went to was prepared for people.
Yep.
It was just unreal. The only negative about it was the fucking flight over there, but you deal with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Shocking.
It
flight.
was, yeah, listen,
long
it was a
flight.
long fucking way. I know what you mean. The way back was a lot worse than the way there.
Oh,
The way
yeah.
back was fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because we got bumped as well. We got bumped off
Yeah,
our
you got
flight.
fucked over and I was sitting next to the toilet.
You get to the airport. Sorry, mate. Again, fucking Qantas. We're on a roll with those pricks at the moment.
Yeah.
Didn't you knock him off the top?
Yeah, we
boys?
got Alan fired. Well, he was always going, but we got him to pull it up.
It was the extra
Nice.
push they needed.
Yeah. So
We're Virgin guys.
Is Alliance Virgin? Like that's their fucking 2 companies? Because we went to fly with Virgin this morning and Alliance picked us up.
Oh, okay. Listen.
We're on the airplane yarn. We got the old Bonza the other day, and mate, can't fucking fault it.
The what?
Bonza's new, right?
Oh, I haven't seen Bonza.
I think it only benefits sort of us up that way.
But so they're just cheap as fuck.
Right.
And they only do a certain amount of flights. But I think it's good for the whole thing because it's going to make other airlines drop their prices a bit, I reckon, because they're like, well, we have to sort of compete.
What's the quality of the plane like? And I only asked this because we were with Jetstar the other day, and shout out to Jetstar. There was, there were no cancellations or hurdles, but it's like it seems like they've gone in there and gone, all right, we fucking need to make this thing as shit as possible because no one's paying any money for it. Like, in the chair in front of you where you like someone to fucking put your phone and your wallet and your keys, whatever else, they just rip that off.
Mate, this had a charger, port.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah,
So
and
what-
it had a menu that you could order off, and I'm just like, man, for how much cheaper this is, I was expecting the shit, and I was just going to cop it. But I don't know.
Where like if something, the plane starts to crash, some chick just comes and starts throwing life jackets. Like, yeah, fucking fend for yourself.
That's like I had my headphones on today, man, and we're sitting in the exit row.
Got to.
And I was just getting into my work, had a couple of things downloaded on Netflix, and I'm like, because if we crash, we're all fucking dying, let's be honest.
Yeah, I know.
She comes over, she's like, taps me on the shoulder, take your headphones off. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because I'm like, how many times does a plane come fucking hammering out of the sky and just land and everyone survives?
Yeah,
It's like,
and with the exit row, people have to like really get into their world.
Right,
Like,
MH370.
and then you have to remember the
Still
yarn.
can't find them.
Yeah, that's right. And then you have to remember the yarn of how to pop the fucking window out and funnel everyone out.
yeah,
I'm sure I'd work it out.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's right.
Bonds is actually a great marketing company because Gladstone, where we are, you always have to do the milk run. So Bonds is taking that out for us. We're now direct. Gladstone to Melbourne.
Yeah.
We'd always have to go Gladstone to Brisbane, Brisbane to Melbourne.
So it probably is more of the regional places that
That's
Bonds is
Bonds
getting
is-
into its
yeah,
work. But
that's
it's
what I
fucking,
wanna-
it's very nice for us anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
Bonza.
On Perth, I would say that the vibe there was good because I think Perth was excited to have us.
Yeah.
I think people that are isolated, and Perth, let's be honest, I think it's the most isolated city on the planet.
Yeah, it is.
They don't see other people very often, and so
Yeah.
I think they were really fucking pumped up to have
Yep.
us. That's
Yeah.
the vibe I got.
It's like when you go to someone's, like, if you, I don't know if you guys had this experience, but maybe it's like you go to like a parent's house or something and like they're having like Christmas this year or some shit. They're really keen to put on a show for everyone.
Yeah.
They really want you to have a good time and make sure everything's good. They've been wigging out about it for months to make sure everything's perfect.
Yeah.
That's what Perth felt like.
it's stay over at someone's house and they've got a towel out on the bed for you in the spare room
Yeah.
with a little chockey on
Yeah.
there. You're like, that's a nice
100%.
touch.
And it's like us, like the Queensland, New South Wales, there's the brotherhood, but there's the battle at origin time.
Yeah.
Like we have it against each other. They've got nothing.
We're basically in bunk beds. They've got their own room. And
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, fuck, cool. Can we hang out and play? You're like, righto.
That's exactly what it is, because it's like, what has Western Australia got like to rival another sort of thing? I think they got an AFL team, a couple of AFL teams
Yeah.
and stuff, but
But no one really cares with respect,
Yeah.
No
It's
one
like,
gives a
but,
shit.
so that's why they turned it on, and it was fucking great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We had a great time there.
We did.
It was good.
Sydney won't be the same sort of really like vibey community, I don't think.
Yeah.
Sydney
right.
hosts Christmas every year, every day. They don't care.
You know, when you
Yeah,
host,
yeah.
when you host so often, you get over hosting, but there will be plenty to fucking do, boys.
But I assume because you guys
don't worry
are, I very much respect the boys trip when there's the big UFC going on.
Yeah.
So I assume that this weekend is, in terms of size and scale for you two gentlemen, and your intentions, it's going to be another largie. Would that be fair to say?
I want to top Perth.
You want to try and knock Perth off
Yeah.
his perch?
Well,
Perth
the
was pretty
worst
big.
I've ever felt at Metro nightclub at midnight on that last night after the UFC at the after party.
Hanging on for dear life.
And he was telling me, "Can we just wait till midnight?" And I'm like, "I had nothing."
I just knew I was going home soon, so I was like, can't.
Let's
don't have
push the
many hours
boat
left,
out.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
That's
But it's like this weekend and starting to get into a bit more of the vlog stuff, like we got Quino on the camera, and it's like you're trying to make the most out of these trips, like we're going away, being in CQ, there's not really much going on. Like it's an industrial town where we're at. This sort of stuff, like you don't appear on other podcasts very often because there's not fucking many in Gladstone,
Yeah.
So these sort of opportunities are so fucking exciting for us and as a business or whatever, because like we get to fucking jump on with you boys, other podcasts, experience big cities, do fuckloads of people watch cunts fight each other, hopefully get sprayed with blood. I think we're going to be close enough.
Oh, you're in the blood zone.
I want Russian
We wanna
blood. I want Russian blood all over me.
Oh, you're in the blood zone.
And
boys.
I'm putting putting all my money on Tai Tuivasa to deliver that.
Yeah, dude. We were saying this before.
At home.
$3.05, I think it was when we were looking at it earlier.
I think it was $3.05.
Just to win.
Might be on the drift too. But you got to remember this:
Just
a
to
proud Western suburb boy in the west of Sydney, fighting in front of his people. Like, I just think that you'd be off your fucking head.
And mate,
not to load up on time.
You would be pumped to see that happen without loading up. Imagine if you load up and just
it
see
happens.
it happen.
Yeah, and if it doesn't happen, you're like, well, whatever. Fuck it.
had a
like,
stab,
you know,
like-
had a crack.
Mate, all the dribble was there for it to happen.
For it
As
to
long as
happen,
the
you know?
bet made sense, which it does.
Well, mate, my bet this weekend is fucking that Tafa, Justin Tafa to win by knockout.
Yeah.
Tai Tuivasa win by knockout. Izzy to win. That's paying like $7 something. And I'm going, fucking stop it.
Shit, I reckon you could chuck in an Izzy knockout.
Yeah,
Like,
I
do you
just
think
don't know
he's
how he's going to do
outpoint
it.
him?
I just don't know how he's going to play with him. Like, I reckon that's a pretty uneven matchup. Strickland's probably going to win the press conference. Izzy the fight. Fucks me how it's going to go.
I know.
Izzy's played with opponents before.
Yeah,
Knocked
no,
him
I know.
out.
The only reason I was thinking is because Pereira knocked him out, Strickland out, and they're
Yeah,
both
he-
similar styles.
Probably would.
How do you
win.
reckon Tyson's going to go? Pedro.
Well, it's hard because
Coming back from gas.
Slide underdog.
Yeah, because
But he's also been
WA
out for it. Like, he was out, and then he had the gastro, got fucking pretty dealt
I just
with.
haven't got him in any of my multis for this weekend.
That
Jamie
seems
Malarkey fighting early on.
Yeah.
Same as that Jack Jenkins. Fucking
Couple
Malarkey.
Aussies getting around. There's
Yeah.
some Kiwis
What's
as well.
is Jack Jenkins broke everyone's legs in the last 5 fights?
Has he?
That's something sports bet we're doing.
He's
something with
broken
him?
5 legs in 5 fights. Can we get that verified?
Yeah. Do you know? Imagine fighting.
shit early.
Imagine
No, mate,
fighting,
that's what it's about.
Imagine fighting someone though in the street, right? Like you're just the old school fucking. Like
Put
what,
'em
you
up.
punch on and someone kicks you in the leg, you'd be like, "Come on, bro."
What are you doing? You kicking me?
Fuck's
Who's
going
kicking?
on?
Get
Yeah.
a leg kick. Getting a leg kick would be so uncomfortable.
It
Well,
would.
it would rattle you when you see people, because you
I'd
see
go
people.
down. I'd
Definitely
probably
if your
start
feet
crying.
come out from under you.
But you see civilians get kicked like for a bit of fun. You know, they're in the gym with a UFC fighter kick, and you're like, they go down. You're like, there's no way of truly understanding what a kick fucking feels like when you when you see it happening in fights. Like, these cunts, conditioned, yes, but like
Still,
To take a
checking a
kick.
leg kick with your shin, like you're off your
bruh.
fucking head.
Tobler. So I mean, we were talking about shin pain. Tobler fucking was meant to run 30 kilometers last week for his marathon prep, but he didn't because he bumped his shin on a fucking table. Apparently,
Is there a bruise, bro?
No bruise.
no, there's not a fucking
there-
bruise. There's not a single bruise.
you found one now. A bit of makeup.
Oh, you're
Shin splints
righto.
kick in after that.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
He's got every excuse under the fucking sun. But so you see this. Did that guy really break 5 legs? That's fucked.
Wow.
And is that from leg
we'll go with that.
kicks, or is he like doing some fucking jujitsu shit? God.
So is
fuck.
there a certain bet or for that he'll break this bloke's leg? And that's what we're
There
claiming.
might be, but it
Yeah.
might be with a competitor. That
Yes,
we don't
that's
name.
right. Yes.
Yes.
So,
But-
don't worry
Doesn't
about
really
it.
matter, does
Don't
it?
even worry about
Well,
it.
no, so no. Or if you just if you find it,
Yeah. If you see
But
it like
listen-
walking around with a pencil case at the venue, fucking
yeah,
hit
and they're
him up.
offering broken leg
hit
bets,
him
so
up.
fucking take that. Punters and dribblers, as always, we are brought to you by the best betting agency on planet Earth, and that is our friends at Ned's. And you know what? Punters and dribblers, they also support the best betting show on earth, and that's About Even. But you know what the number one thing right now that you and I are enjoying is the About Even group on the Neds app. It just is. It's a private space for like-minded punters and dribblers to go in there and to share their bets and to shoot the shit.
100%. Now, if you don't have a Neds account, I'll ask you why not. And also,
If you're a punter.
if you're a punter, there's a nice opportunity here to rectify that, to fix horrible wrongs. As we go into finals footy, you're going to need a Neds account. It's as simple as that.
If you're a punter.
If you're a punter, of course, Tom. If you're a punter who likes a punt coming into final series, rather, you're going to need a Neds account. It's as simple as that. Tom and I have got one, and we're dominating right now.
Look, I'm certainly on the improve from my season. That's for damn sure. But again, the private group in there, the About Even group, it's the biggest group on Neds that isn't like an open racing
Well, it's the
group.
biggest.
It's the biggest group on Neds, and it's a private one. We like to keep our groups private, punters and dribblers. We like them to be exclusive. Now, if you do want to join, here's the little secret passcode. It's Dribbler, and you can come in, we can share bets, shoot the shit, and we can enjoy finals footy together. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
So you were saying before, like you're in Northern Queensland, Central Queensland?
Central Queensland.
Central Queensland?
Yep.
Gladstone. Shout out to Gladstone. Are you the only boys doing a podcast there, or have you started a bit of a Gladstone movement?
Well, mate, there was a couple of chicks doing a podcast there. We went and had a chat to. I don't think they're doing it anymore. They moved overseas.
We were the OGs.
Yeah. Started it off. I think there's another one doing it now. A couple of young lads having a crack. But yeah, I think we're the first ones to do it. Yeah. And mate, it was more of a thing where like we were working opposite rosters, working away like 7-7. We had one day off.
This is in the mines, yeah?
Yeah. One day off that we could see each other or whatever, and we're like, right, well, let's fucking try and make the most of that one day. And, you know, started it off like that just to catch up and get absolutely fucking blotto. Like, we just sit in the fucking room and just started it because it would be fun.
Yeah.
And got on the piss.
And the mics are an excuse for our missus to let us do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
they're
because
taking
you
it
just
serious.
say,
Make it
it's
legit.
a fucking podcast.
Mate,
and then
yeah.
you get
We just want to catch up, man.
Babe, I got to go to the show. We got a fucking podcast to record.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'd go there. I can't drive home, babe. I've had fucking more than 3 beers.
Yeah.
We'd just pound cans and fucking talk shit and laugh. Because, like, we were a massive fan of podcasts, man. Still are. In the mines because you're stuck in a machine all day, right? Like I listened to that many of you boys while I was out there just fucking dribbling.
Yeah.
And just hearing people you can relate to
Yeah.
changes someone's mentality massively if they're stuck in a machine all day.
Just passing the time sort
so
of
like
thing.
we'd often talk about like which podcast we were into, what episodes we liked and that, but the most entertaining thing for us was on the phone to each other for about an hour making each other fucking laugh.
Yeah.
So we were around the fire where all good fucking ideas come about. Just before tax time, and fucking said, hey, why don't we give it a crack?
Yeah.
And said, right, when the tax money comes in, we'll buy a set, get blind in your garage and fucking yarn. That's how it comes about.
They're the best ideas, though. And, like, the fact that it comes from very similar to us. Like, we only started this because we wanted to catch up and shoot the shit. So if it comes from, like, a nice, well-intentioned place, for then to now be full-time job for you boys, you must be fucking frothing.
Oh, it's a dream, man.
It's
Right,
like
so it is.
one of our negative yarns is we always talk about everyone's right to start a podcast, rah. But if you're doing it for money, like
Yeah.
it's not the right reason to start. I don't think.
No, absolutely not. It's for like fun.
I'm
right?
like,
And that's where people fall into the thing, right? Like they'll go, oh, these guys are doing a podcast for a job. We're going to start one. 3 weeks in, they're asking why they're not getting this and that. And it's like, dude, did you realise that we were working in the mines for over a year recording this? On the one day off, we had 2 episodes that day. And then I was editing after I finished my 12-hour shift in the mines of a night time, hanging me hole out the next day for a fucking year.
Yeah.
A year because I loved it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then something happened. It's like, man, if you're going to start talking shit with your mate or a podcast or something, do it because you want to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that's where the natural fucking stuff comes from, because you're fucking excited to do it.
it was a moment for me when I got that blind on the second episode, and there was no internet was playing up, and I remember the same spot on my driveway because it's like 400-meter driveway where you're telling me we need to get this fucking uploaded, pull your shit together, whatever, and I'm going, oh well, what are you taking this actually serious, are we? You know what I mean? I'm like, I just thought the mics were an excuse for just to get the missus to leave us alone.
For me, man, it was one of those things where I'm like, I've like did my apprenticeship, become a fitter, worked in the mines, found a job that was all right because it was a bit of stuff, but I never fucking loved it one time. I was like, I'm not passionate about this shit. We started doing this for fun. Man, 2 or 3 episodes in, I'm like, I reckon I got a bit of a brain for this. I really enjoy it. And I'm like, I feel like, you know, you can entertain people, or like when me and fucking Cam are at a party or something, it's like you make people laugh. You have a fucking yarn. And I feel like after listening to you boys and a couple of other podcasts that I was into, I'm like, I reckon we can do a similar thing to that in our own spin.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and I'm fucking passionate about it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I finally found something that I'm like, hey, how good's this? Not knowing a year after we started that it could actually be our job. I had no idea.
Or fucking like the year before even that it was like a passion that you had.
Yeah.
That's cool about like uncovering it, where you're going like, I didn't fucking think podcasting was
No.
You know what I mean? You're not
I
sitting
didn't
there
think
going,
you
I
could,
want to be a
I didn't think you could make
podcaster.
money podcasting. I had no idea until
put it this
like
way,
not
man.
that long ago.
Yeah.
I thought it was bullshit back in the day when you hear the motivational cunts go, you got to do something you love. Fucking do something you love. And I'm like, what the fuck do I love that
Yeah.
makes me money?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. So I'll just do this because, that's the way things go.
Yeah.
And turns out you can. But like, obviously not everyone's in.
Well, I think the only thing misleading about the inspirational guy is that most people don't have any opportunity to do something they love or even know what they love that you can do as a job.
That's right.
I think it's more about having a crack at something. So it doesn't mean that, again, like you don't do the podcast because you want to be fucking making money. You're doing it because it's like, oh, fuck, this could be a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But take it seriously. Don't just do it and not fucking fart around and waste your time. Like, do it.
Then you're wasting your time.
Then you're wasting time. But if you do something, you take it seriously. If you want to start a business, you want to sell candles, I don't know what the fuck it is, but like, take it seriously.
Mate,
try do it, and then something might come from it.
That's right. It's like there's heaps of positives and negatives right with the internet and shit like that. But a positive is you can do something you love now, whether it be fishing, it could be fucking anything that you want to do that you're into, that you can put your time into. You can record that now, post it up on something for free for thousands of cunts to see. If you do a good job, there's a niche market there, whatever you're doing, where you could probably succeed in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a fucking massive positive of the internet.
Yeah.
What was how long into it until it started to blow up? Or like even just get like how many episodes you and blow up like is relative, right? In relative to having no listeners.
so
when did you
even-
get like a first like, oh fuck, there's people listening?
Even people listening outside of your circle,
Yeah.
like randoms.
So, mate, we did it for ages, just like we said before, talking on the mics and shit like that. And we have a very good like friends group where we live. So there was a couple of hundred straight away that fucking jumped on, just saying, "Hey, check this out" or whatever. And then I suppose built it like we did it, and we're comfortable with what we were doing, and we're slowly building. But it's when we first got the cameras, and we had an old GoPro sitting there, and just chucked it up because I'm like, I reckon a couple of things we're saying could fucking make some people laugh.
Because that was a good point at the start. Our friends, they'd almost be waiting to hear their yarn, like of some story when we've been on the piss or away with them, and then everyone would sort of listen. So you brought that in secretly.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, that's right. Once the camera started,
once the camera thing started,
branched out.
and we started filming them and started doing little clips and stuff and putting them on the socials and realizing what hashtag you needed to fucking use for all this shit. It's like when we first started, man, there was so many podcasts there, but not that many that related to the fucking old battler in the mines or something, because we were still in the mines for fucking ages while we were recording. So you'd relate to all these people who had the time to listen to podcasts. They were fucking stuck in machines all day, truck drivers, machine operators, dudes who literally had nothing but time.
Yes.
And it's like you relate to those people, you tell stories to those people. And when like I said, the internet, social media, these clips would fucking make people laugh, and there wasn't that much of it. And at the start, we were fucking towing the line and sometimes stepping over it.
Oh, yeah.
So, like
Snakes and ladders, baby.
and look, we did get shadow banned for a good year and a half on Instagram. But, that was the point where so many people could be exposed to it because they could easily share it to shit like that. And then, a certain percentage go and actually listen to the show.
Yep.
And it blew up from there. The craziest part was fucking, and now you look at the Spotify charts and you realize what goes on with the. Not going to go into it for everyone listening because it'd be boring for them, but sitting above Joe Rogan for 2 weeks.
Wild stuff.
And we're going, is this a fucking, like, is Spotify shit the bed or what is doing?
Well, didn't Spotify call you and organise a meeting because they wanted to see who these two cunts were that were above Joe Rogan?
We thought we were going to retire. So I thought this is my last day in the mines.
That's because we just found out that Joe Rogan, God, had just signed the 100 million, and Call Me Daddy had done the 65 million, and we were the third callers.
So we're we're talking going, it's at least 30 mil. I buy a couple of houses each, couple of boats, we'll spin yarns. Not knowing what's going on. Anyway, we get a fucking email or whatever from Spotify. And they're like, can we arrange a meeting? And we're like, woo!
Oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is
Sign
it.
us up.
So anyway, but because we had to go with the narrative of who we were, the country blokes and that, we just put fucking that much mayo on the meeting. Like I had to drive out of the farm into the town of Miriamvale to get service to Ringham. So I'm on the FaceTime there. Cam's fucking at work, like at the smoker room at work, got the monos on the head, fucking heaps of machine in the background going on. It's like, oh, you got your mate. Fucking. And there's the head dude of Spotify and this chick, and they're going, and we're just waiting for it, you know, like we want to sign you. And they pretty much just said, you've been above Joe Rogan for 2 weeks. Who are you?
Who the fuck are you?
Who are you? And we're like, oh. Sort of Sarah. I said, oh, mate, I just had to duck out of the farm there and, you know, get a bit of service and call you.
Put some straw in your mouth.
And I'm going, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
And, mate, they were literally just wanting to know how the fuck we did it, I suppose.
Yeah.
And we're just saying, who does your thing? I said, no, we just got on to whatever the platform we're on, and I just go on Audacity and chuck it up. And they're going, you could just tell our mate going, what the fuck? And
People have studied uni, done this for years.
And he's sort of going, he goes, yeah, look, mate, you're a bit rogue for us. Like, you're a bit rogue. We sort of don't. And that's when we realised, like, these guys were just, like, more interested to go, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, who the fuck are these guys?
You know?
There wasn't any $30 million deal coming.
Unfortunately.
There was a bounce back or talks of it, but then the smart asses said, we've already got 65% of your audience.
Yeah,
What
'cause
do we
obviously-
need ya?
Obviously, Spotify's a big, you know, a big. That's where I go and listen to shit as well.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty funny one early on because that was right back in the day where, like you said, that I suppose that might have been the start of
Growth.
of realizing that maybe one day you could be doing that.
Yeah,
What's crazy?
number one in Australia is
one
when
in
you realise.
Number one in Australia over Joe fucking Rogan. Yeah, that's probably when I'd be like, holy fuck.
Well, before then, it was still fun, mate, and it still
of
is
course.
now.
But were you on the charts? You must have been on the charts to some degree before you noticed you're above Rogan, right? Like,
Well, I didn't really look. We didn't look at them.
We didn't, yeah, like
So you
people
weren't even
going,
the
First time you looked, you were number one.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it was
my
just
old boy was going like, you know, you've been sitting at the top of iTunes and like Spotify.
oh really? And we're like, oh, what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah,
Like, what the
yeah.
hell?
Because
Like,
no
is
one
that
ever
good?
goes past Joe Rogan, except you cunts.
Yeah. And I was just sort of like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. I'm like, so something. And that's when that Spotify mob rang. But yeah, it was just funny, like talking to each other after going, oh, well, Russ, a few more months in the mines.
Yeah. Put those fucking goggles back
You
on.
know what,
Cunt. There's nothing coming at the moment.
The part for us before we went full time is, I think it was 2 or 3 times. We thought we were right to go, be able to quit, and the accountants are going, nah, you haven't factored this in, you haven't factored that in. Because we wanted the same money that we're on doing our trades a week
Yeah, you don't
to
take
support
a
our
hit.
family. You don't want to take a loss.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like we built ourselves these lives where the mines is good money, you know. So you know, I got a couple of mortgages, 4 kids now, 2 at the time, and you've built yourself a life where you sort of need this amount of money to pay what you've got off.
Yep.
And I'm all about like just take the jump and do shit, but it's like, yeah, but
Easier
my
said than done
kids
with
need food.
Yeah. And,
So
and I've got 2 mortgages.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's like, it's one of those things where you go, we sort of waited until we were consistently doing a good job with that, with deals and that we were doing, and then hit a point where we're like, we can make a decision now and take the jump, but not be totally fuckwits about it where we're going to ruin our families.
Which fired us up as well because they're going, go find another certain dollar figure.
Yeah.
And we're going that. And he goes, yeah, and find that, and we should be right.
So you have to go and hunt. What was it? What do your folks do? Like, and I asked that in the sense of going like, doesn't sound like podcasting for anyone was like the obvious fucking
my
choice.
boy's a bean counter, accountant, and my mum's a nurse.
And so, what was their reaction like when you started doing it? Like, were they all like, "What are you fucking talking about?"
Mine was supportive, but never understood it.
Yeah.
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 Because it's so foreign. It's
Yeah,
so different.
But my old girl's a school teacher, and Dad was he's a fitter by trade, but groundsman there, and then he's doing a bit of relief teaching sort of stuff at the moment. And the old boy, like, he's me fucking idol, man. He's like old footy player, fucking one of like me best mate sort of thing.
Yeah.
And like he's real old school sort of thing. So, and they were real supportive of everything I was doing at the time. But like Cam said, didn't really understand what was going on. It was just like this and that. And like nowadays and that, so many people go up, like his mates go up and say about how, like talk to him about it, and he's just like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like, so it's pretty cool when it comes to that, because he doesn't really have the time there, like the operators in the mines, to fucking listen to podcasts flat out, you know? So it's not really, it was just a totally foreign thing for him, but yeah, supportive as.
Our hometown's not really like that because it's 10 minutes to work. It's a small town.
Yeah.
It's when you're out the mines, when you're working away. Like, how do Sydney listeners just their 15 minutes train?
Well, traffic's fucked in Sydney, so you got
some people,
time.
mate. Some people are in the car or on the train for an hour.
Yeah, that's right.
Plus, some people at work have a job where they can listen as well.
100%.
You know?
I think even if you shouldn't be listening, fucking people are listening, right? Like, you just
pull
like,
the beanie down a bit in winter.
Yeah, exactly.
Put the hoodie up.
Pretend you're deaf. And I has a hearing aid, mate. Actually, so
mate,
Looks like an AirPod. No, mate. Hearing aid.
But honestly, though, like podcasts for me, and that's why I'm so pumped to be in it and I'm passionate about it, is because some of those fucking shifts for 12 hours
Got you through it.
out in the mines and that, where you just fucking hate it. It's like day 2 of 7. Hate the shit, but you know, a couple of your favourite shows are coming out, a bit of shit. Like when I was out there, it was just footy, like NRL and podcasts and shit. And then the whole week leading up to that round where you'd be working, you lads and Kempy and that would be talking about it. You'd be fucking diving into that, chuck a couple of multis on. You know, it fucking helps people through their week.
Yeah.
And it's like the fact that I know now that I'm doing what I got out of like you guys, it's fucking awesome.
yeah.
Well, you must know, having lived it, the power of consistency. Like, you know, when if you're waiting for a podcast and it doesn't come in, you almost want to
100%.
rip
You're
your
just
hair
like,
out.
what the fuck are they? Do they not realise I've got a fucking
And I'm
shift
like, I don't
going?
even have a backup.
Yeah, I was banking on this
Like,
fucking.
I'm on day 2 of 7, bruh. Like,
Because you
I
get in that
need
proper
help.
mindset, like, I want comedy at this time in the morning,
Yep.
or I want a crime podcast on night shift to get me through it, something loose about some mad cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but mate, it does, like, consistency, like advice to anyone, consistency is the fucking key. Like right at the start, I made a thing in my head where I'm like, we're putting a clip out on the socials every day.
Yep.
I don't care if it's shit or what, cunts know that there's a new thing every fucking single day.
Yeah.
Which
And-
is a big commitment to make, given that you're working the whole time. Because what's your TikTok at now?
400 and something thousand.
Pays.
Like it
Pays
just,
to be consistent.
you know, and it's just something
Does
that
anyone
like,
make money off TikTok?
I think they do. They go like live
Some
and
cunts,
shit.
Not us.
Well, KSI went. He was like paid through TikTok the other day, like hundreds of millions of views. He made £3,000.
Might have to look into it, eh?
yeah.
But mate,
It
it's
helped, but
just-
you use that audience to leverage your podcast. so.
Yeah, it's just, it all fucking works together, man. Like you go, if one of those clips goes fucking gangbusters, you
Yeah.
say it gets 1 million fucking views. Let's say 200 people listen, 200,000 of those listen to podcasts, 50,000 go check your podcast out, 10,000 stay. Like
Yeah.
who fucking knows from one clip?
From one
Good
thing.
math.
And
Yeah.
like, and bringing Quino on, like, it's been a massive thing bringing Quinn on to run that sort of shit because he focuses on that sort of thing and like puts the little things at the end of those clips that direct people to where to listen to. And subconsciously, if someone watches a funny as fuck clip and they see that at the end, they might go check it out.
Tobler's just preoccupied with running a marathon, mate.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he's given
Well,
up.
and
Kicking tables.
We also hit the nail on the head. Find the rarest bloke in Gladstone too that can do all this.
How'd
Yeah.
you find
Gladstone.
Quinn? How'd you
You
that
reach out?
Mate, we put a...
I
reached
rocked up
out.
to lunch, mate, and just said g'day.
Yeah,
That was my
we
part.
sort of said on the show, look, we're looking for someone to fucking, you know, to help us out with a few different things.
I
And-
remember you said you were looking. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a few lads reach out, and they were good lads, but they
Estivers.
didn't fucking live. Yeah, they didn't live local. And I was like, I want someone to be a part of the team. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, dude, I'm sending you something, clip some shit up.
Yeah.
I want them to know what we work like. I used to do the clips, so Quino, I'd do them at the start and then slowly filter it through so he knew our humour and that. Now it's a fucking well-oiled machine. Like,
Yeah.
lucky as fuck.
Yeah. And it does, and it just the amount of time it gives you back. Not having
Yeah,
to fucking
and
do
plus
all that
just
shit.
him jumping on the show. It's that third person, that
Yep.
different sort of fucking human.
Breaks
and
it up
it's just,
a
it
little
just
bit.
works
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And he's got such different interests than us as well, which is funny. We'll start laughing. We'll
He's
start
just said,
laughing
yeah.
because I'm going,
He's
how do
laughing.
you even fucking think that, Russ?
Yeah, right. Man, it's like fucking D or Dave, to be fair. Like,
Well, because
that's-
we got your little commie over there.
Yeah, he's
left
not
his
here today.
shit. He's actually overseas, enjoying I'm not
Going
going to
to
say
Cat
well
Fat.
earned. I'm
No,
not going to
it's
say
not a
well
well-earned
earned.
holiday.
Where is
Certainly
he?
not
Europe?
well earned.
He's in Europe,
But
yeah.
he is away. But he couldn't be more different from Tom and I. Like some of the fucking Barneys we'll have in here with the office on like just points of view about anything is crazy. But I think it works in the sense that sometimes you don't want a third Tom and Eddie sitting in the corner like
Well, you've got
parroting
Tom.
back our
You've
own
got,
shit.
you've got Tom and Eddie.
Yeah.
You want to have
You've got
someone
it.
there to point a
Yeah.
difference. How long until you started getting like noticed or like cred in the mines when you're still working with cunts
Yeah.
like fucking love
Were you
this
like
week's
celebrity
episode?
miners?
Dude.
Nah.
Oh no.
Nah, like I come back to town and was supervising, and I got hounded. Like just like they were pumped because I was like supervising them and shit. But yeah, I didn't.
I was getting a bit of that at the last place.
Yeah.
Like the manager was like, fucking love it, mate. And I'm like, normally you got to like fucking tiptoe around that cunt.
Yeah,
But I've got to say, they were fucking legends of blokes
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And like the new, like just, they were all just pumped with what we were doing. And it's like, it was a bit of a weird thing as well though, because like you got to respect your fucking superior and stuff like that. But also they're such a fucking fan of what you're doing. But it was weird too, because normally I'd just tell yarns about how some unit fucked up at the mines, and I'm like, this bloke listens religiously.
Yeah.
You know, it's like at home, my neighbour just moved out, and I'm like, fuck, because you know you're in a good street and that, and I'm like, righto, I'm just an anxious cunt. So I'm going, righto, a couple of things could happen here. I could get a fucking absolute cockhead like that moves in, and I'm like, or I could get a proper like hair sniffer who just fucking froths the show. And I'm like, I don't know. It's like this.
Yeah,
is
what's worse?
Yeah, and you go,
Probably
fucking,
almost what the forward, eh?
well, yeah, because like at least it give you content.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
Something
true.
to talk about.
Yeah, exactly right.
But no, it was pretty cool, mate, just to see, you know, the people out there you're working with getting something out of it, I suppose. And
They almost dogged me a few times too, but because I'll be like with a superintendent doing a safety walk around, he goes, I heard on the episode you're fucking off soon. Like I haven't put notice in on that. What are you still doing out here, bruss?
yeah.
And I'm going, hey,
Read the room, bro.
I'm fucking going yet, cunt. Shut up.
I'm sweating for a reason. Shut up.
No, it was it was pretty cool, sort of like talking to the people out there, and then just like, because we're in CQ and we sort of, Gladstone's not a massive place, so you sort of know a lot of people anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's just normal there. It was pretty crazy. It's been pretty crazy the last couple of trips we've done when like people are literally coming up to you to get photos and shit, and you just go, fucking hell. Like that's.
Do you enjoy it? Like, I mean, from our experience, like it's always nice, right? If someone's coming up and fucking saying it, eh? What was it like for you guys the first time it started happening, as opposed to now, where I'm assuming it's even more so? Like, how do you enjoy it? Does it make you wig out? Again, sometimes I will, and again, like the fucking level of notoriety we have is minuscule, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, if I'm like, let's say you're a bit hungover and a bit like anxious or dusty, I'll sometimes be like wigging out that I'm like, someone's looking at me. Like, do you ever have any of those sorts of experiences?
Yeah, sometimes, mate. I just make sure that I, like, because you get a few people like you or I or whatever, you know, like I wouldn't just run up to someone and be like, oh, but some people come up and be like, look, man, I'm sorry. I know you're getting pestered and that. And I always just say to them, I'm like, dude, you're the cunts putting the fucking food on my kid's table.
Exactly.
I'll have a beer with you and have a yarn all
Anytime.
night. All fucking night.
It's almost way better, though, that they come up, right?
But
Like
if you're
want 'em
something that you're not on the show, like I'm myself, no matter what, if you're something different then, and all of these people meet you and go, fuck, he was a cockhead. Like,
Dude,
he
you
wasn't-
hate that, right?
Dude, just fucking be yourself. Like I said, I have the time for anyone who invests their fucking time and makes this a job for us.
Yeah.
100%. We've got a similar approach for sure.
Absolutely.
And that was like, for me, like I was such a footy head that I was just straight on to Kempy.
Yes.
And I still fucking remember the first time I heard you boys on there, right? I was on the Beef Road, no fucking service. I had it downloaded. And because it used to be like full on, like into the footy, stats, all the stuff. you
X's
know?
and O's.
And anyway, here come these two lads just dribbling shit. And I was just going, fuck, these cunts talk shit. And then I was just like, fucking hell, righto. Next episode, I went, I like it. I'm like, these cunts talk shit like I do.
Yeah.
And fucking started listening to your show off the back of it. And then that became the show that I listen to all the time.
Because
it's just funny how he's come out there. I was just like, fucking, this is different. They're just dribbling.
It was mixed. I think it was mixed reviews early on because he'd been so he'd gone from so X's and O's to who the fuck are those cunts talking shit, sucking off Manly the whole time. Like, sorry,
Sorry, guys.
But when you actually sit down and realise it's like sitting at the pub, having a yarn with a fucking mate.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah. It's funny because like it's actually it's very simply explained. Like that's literally the ones that I enjoy the most is where you can just sink into the convo and you're just like, you're not fucking saying anything. You're just there for it and enjoying it.
Yeah.
But that's how I reckon that's how you see like 90% of similar-ish podcasts that start up and it's the way they describe it. Just a couple of mates bantering at the pub and it's like, that's all anyone is really fucking trying to do in this space at least. Like, just make it very comfortable.
And it's funny too, when you get a following that just like what you're about, like you might get the best guest on ever, right? Like we got Steve-O on for a yarn.
That's right.
Jackos,
And that hasn't been our best episode performance-wise.
Doesn't it trip you out sometimes? Like this thing's going to pump its dick off and you're like...
Yeah. We thought that.
Interviews
we were
don't
like,
do
mate,
as well.
we get interviews. This is the secret sauce. This is years ago.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, there's no way in the world that a big name guest wouldn't do really, really well. We chased Kurtley Bill for 3 years, and
Dude.
my Monday episode comes out the next week, way bigger. It's just
We thought one was going to bomb, and that was like on the back of Steve-O, and smoked that one of our biggest ones.
Yeah. And it's just...
I was like, wow.
Just makes you realise that the people who are listening because of what you're bringing to the table, not because who you're getting on.
Yeah.
And it makes you realise, like, a couple of the episodes that we've done with our mates who are just fucking tradies where we live, just spinning yarns about going fishing or trips that they've done or shit we've done together on the piss. That's what cunts want to listen to. They want to listen to everyday people talking everyday shit.
Same with us. Streety, Sebo, Jarch obviously is
Legends,
now Jarch,
mate.
but like just all our mates.
Sebo
Like we had them
and
all on early doors when fucking no one was...
Why do we have that mindset? Is it because of like full send America, like because they had to get the biggest names straight up, but didn't just get their mates on and grow organically?
I think possibly because it's a bit newer down here, and you've got, when you're younger, you just sort of hold people that are famous or that are names on a bit of a pedestal.
Yeah.
At least I used to, at least.
Almost to a point where they're never going to deliver on your expectation.
Yeah.
So like if you just got someone who's like, oh, this is my mate, it's like, well, I don't have an expectation of your mate, or like it's just someone who's coming on, and then they're funny as fuck. You're like, oh, this is mad. This guy's a fucking funny cunt I've never heard of before. Almost feels like fresh. You're like, oh, this is someone undiscovered.
Do you know, it's pretty crazy, like, where we're sort of at now and getting the opportunity to meet some fucking really cool people who are kicking ass in a lot of different ways. Back in the day when you hadn't met any of those people or been in this game at all, you sort of saw them as like a different person, and they were like going to be this fucking crazy thing. You meet them, like you boys, normal cunts. 95% of them are just normal cunts who are having a crack in their own right.
Yeah.
And it's just like... Yeah, everyone is just a normal cunt.
Super normal.
Just fucking kicking ass.
The weird ones are the outliers. You're like, oh, that guy's a fucking weird guy.
Mate, don't get me wrong, there's a few.
There's a couple out there, but like, you're right.
There's always a couple of weirdos around.
Yeah,
Always.
that's right.
Which always makes it a bit fun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But everyone I've been doing well. Fuck, they've been all good cunts. I can't say I've met a fuckwit yet.
Well, mate, normally the people
No, you're
doing
right,
well
there's not.
support other people doing well. It's the people who aren't doing well who are the ones shooting shots and being negative and shitting on everyone.
Yeah.
There's a cocky A grader from your hometown or something that's the cockhead. It's not the famous bloke.
Yeah, you're right.
That's all I found anyway.
Fucking oath.
So you've obviously tasting a fair bit of podcast success, obviously above Rogan briefly, but still one of the great claims.
Still
of all
nipping
time.
his fucking
You can tell
heels and
Jarch.
shit.
You can tell Jarchi tomorrow that he didn't quite get there. Second, unfortunately, for that silly cunt. So,
But
you
we
got
need to
that
talk
over.
about this top episode thing, Tom.
Yeah, like it's like how it works,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Because it's like you have on Spotify, you have the top podcasts, and I don't know what the fuck algorithm they use. I used to think whoever got the most downloads would be at the top, but it's not how it works.
For podcasts, it's based on like new and retained.
That's
listeners.
right. So it's like if you actually want to look at who's getting the most fucking downloads every episode, you go to top episodes.
Correct.
And that'll show you which
Who's who in the
episodes
zoo.
are kicking ass. Every now and again, we'll knock one of Rogan's 3 off and slip in between them.
Yeah.
But that's as far as we get, which is fucking great.
Mate, you take that every day.
We've all been on that where you could be 30, 40 down the line, which doesn't give a fuck on the overall, but you could be top 3 in the...
Yeah, we'll send each other. We usually get to 10-9. If we can get to a 7.
No, you boys
we can get
go
to
well.
7 in the top X, okay.
I
I can say a few things you might want to cut out, and I can get you there. Eating ass cures depression. Been a hot topic this week.
But no, you
Just getting the work in for you, mate.
But yeah, it's all about learning how the fuck all that stuff works, though, and like behind the scenes, how they run shit. Like if you don't know how shit works, you look at something and you just assume shit. So many things we've fucking learnt.
No one's got 30 years experience in this.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. We were having a yarn with some other podcasts of the great cricketer guys just a couple of weeks when they were on here, and we were just like, there's no one to fucking talk to outside of the people who are doing it now about like what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, and I really enjoy
About the lay of the land.
talking like the podcast, the business side of it.
Yes.
And not even
Mate.
like the commercial side, not like the making money side of it necessarily, but just like the general, although I do like talking about that as well, but just like the general business side of how things are working, what works for you. Like, because so often you're like, none of this fucking makes sense.
And that's why, like,
generally.
that's like early days. I felt like I had a good brain for this. I sort of understood it enough without doing anything. But I'm like, well, no one's really fucking done anything.
Exactly.
So like early days, it sort of come about by chance that we didn't have the time to put visual episodes up, right? We didn't have the time to. It was flat out just fucking putting an audio one up. And people are like, why aren't you on YouTube? Why aren't you on YouTube? We want to fucking watch it, rah, rah, rah. And then a little idea sparked in my head where I'm like, there's a demand for this. We haven't given it out for free yet. It's something that we could probably fucking work with if it's a subscription-based thing and we can be a bit more rogue and not get the fucking heat on us, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's where
Loosen
the whole...
the belt a little bit.
And that's where the old Patreon thing sort of come about. It was a long process. So many people, probably 4 or 5 people in a role where you'd respect their opinion, said, you need to be on YouTube. I was like, okay, well, how about you just fucking let me try this? And then guess what? If it doesn't work, YouTube's there.
Yeah, exactly. It's always going to be there.
And yeah, that's why we sort of tried that thing. We had a heap of episodes banked up because we filmed them for fucking clips anyway. And
So they're all there and you can just dump them.
they were all there, and we dumped it at the start. Said, hey, if you want to watch our shit, unedited stuff, there it is on Patreon, such and such a month. Go fucking check it out.
How's it work on your phone? Like, I've never used Patreon. And
It
we've discussed,
works
we've
through
fucking danced around using
Works
it.
through Vimeo. I think that's
okay.
the app.
Vimeo's,
Vimeo's the actual service that it uses to stream stuff.
Right.
But just the concept of it was like, because you can't put something on YouTube, you can't put 40 episodes on YouTube and then say, no, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because
We
you
fucked
don't-
Once
ourselves.
they're up, they're up.
No, that's right. You can't take something away.
You can't
take something
take away content.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
you can
right.
create new shit for them, but
Exactly. So it's a half balance of luck and sort of just trying something.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't really been done before. Because everyone watches what everyone else does, which is a smart thing to do, and goes, well, they're on YouTube as well. Start on YouTube straight away. But the thing, when you have a bit of rogue stuff like Cam and I, where she's a few
Cam.
fucking wild, like Cam, sometimes I, once every 20 episodes or something. But
Are you king of the road, Cam?
Yeah, you probably don't even hear me on Spotify anymore.
You just mute the
Purely Patreon.
but it's,
even
one
branch
of
off.
it's one of those things that allows you to just fucking be yourself still, and you're not filtered by anyone.
Yeah.
You know, and you have that direct connection with your audience. For me, the whole thing with building a successful company, right, is this fella is so keen on the business aspect of stuff, and he's good at it and stuff. I'm really good at coming up with entertaining shit to fucking talk about and stuff like that. I'm a turbo with stuff. Cam will look over the fine print. It's about bringing people together that all have their strengths in different fucking spots, trusting each other in those spots, having Quinn that fucking runs all the socials and does all that. Everything works together when you trust each other and everyone's doing their fucking thing that
seriously,
they're good at.
it's
And
so you go.
Well, no, it's good Quinn too, because he'll come in and go, we might think that'll be right, Russ, that'll be right. He'll probably go,
Nah.
just have a bit more of a think about this, boys. I know you got Patreon there, but still have a bit of a think
Let's
about
have
this.
everything about
And
what
that's what I mean. Like, I'm hopeless when it comes to that, and I'm trying to understand it a bit more. But like then when he hit me with like, hey, like that, and I'm thinking, fuck, I don't know, man.
That's one of the things as well. Like, I want to get my head around more of the specifics of it. I've got my head around some of it, but like from a just like general overarching perspective, it's like I'd be fucked if I didn't have Eddie's business brain here,
And that's like with
helping
Cam and
us
that as
out
well.
with what we're doing.
And I think it's down to your accountants. Like the BBB's got the same accountants, and they're just young fellas our age that are keen on that and just are so knowledgeable. And it's good just being able to call someone instead of getting charged $200 for a 5-minute call, just asking a question.
Because, mate, for example, I've loved this the whole time, but when I was doing every single clip, posting every fucking clip after doing work in the mines and that, I fucking hated that part of it.
Yep.
Ever since Quino come on and took over that, holy fuck. I can just focus on the good shit that I'm good at.
Yep.
And it's just been so much, like for me anyway, such a better experience for me to fucking focus my energy on the shit I'm good at.
Yes.
You know?
What do you guys do? Do you have like, obviously you've got more free time because you're not fucking in the mines 7 and 7, but like what are you doing? Like do you kick back? Or you still got no?
I got an excavation company.
Oh, so you're still working outside the business as well?
Well, I am. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just.
Eddie still runs another businesses.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
we're trying to get a fence company off the line with fish and lures. We're going to get to.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I got another merch company I'm doing, and then this DJ thing.
So so you're not
Alpha
taking
Blokes.
you're not having a break.
No, it's
You're
fucked.
basically-
We had the chat in the car 2 days ago. We were looking up at the sky and going, prime weather. Like this doesn't even come in my head at the moment. Going, we should be playing golf. Should be fucking on the boat.
I've had the chance to flick the lures that we made once.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we're starting a fishing lure company. Where you think we'd be out just fucking filming content?
Yeah, it is funny.
The other
isn't
thing
it?
is, man, for me, like with the 4 kids at home and the wife, like I pride myself on being a good dad. So it's like I put time aside where it's like, nah, that's fucking my time with my family. So it's like, it's balancing the things because the way I work is it's like if I'm going to do something, I'm fucking doing it hard and as good as I can. So it's like I'm conscious about how many things I take on. Probably took too many things on, but like if I'm going to do something, you do it 100%. That way later on when you go, oh, could that have worked? You go, no, it couldn't have worked because I fucking tried my hole out to make it work.
Yeah.
You know?
And so that's what you guys are in now. And I think that would be, I think have very similar realities in that sense where you go like, fuck, podcast killing it. Like the idea being like, oh mate, fucking I can do whatever I want because I just got to come in and yarn fucking 1 or 2 days a week. But then
It's
you
not
start
like
trying to make more things of it. You're trying to, leverage success to try and like make some more things work.
Well,
for
mate,
you.
the biggest part to make something work, so many cunts have got good ideas. Great ideas that would go off if hundreds of thousands of cunts could hear it. But the cost of having hundreds of thousands of cunts to hear it is massive. So if you've got an audience, if you've got an interest, and it's the same interest as your audience, if you come up with something else that relates to them and you can tell them about it for free, then there's the fucking ticket to success.
100%. And Tom and I always say you got to make hay while the sun's shining. So we try to flirt with a couple of different ideas, try to put our finger in multiple pies, as they say.
And they're in the emails too.
Yeah.
And that's what sometimes you got to slow down and go on. They're not using you, but they know you can sell a product.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about you, mate. They just want your fucking audience.
Unless you're benefiting them.
And mate, if you're going to do that,
They're not doing it because
they wouldn't be emailing you if you weren't Alpha Blokes. You know what I mean?
No.
They're coming in.
They're not emailing Cam going,
No, they're
not.
And that was a big thing with the DJ thing I'm getting into. When we said with the Alpha Blokes, I was getting promoters all over Australia hitting me up for nightclubs, but they wanted him there. And I'm like, he's getting away from his family. The only reason we're selling tickets is not because it's Cam Larry. It's because it's Alpha Blokes there because they know they can sell tickets. They don't give a fuck about me music. So that's why I wanted to grow it organically myself off the site with someone else to try rebrand that.
Yes, have a separate thing. What is
what's
that?
it called? What's it called?
Limitless Groove.
Limitless Groove.
And have you always been? Have you? So you DJ
No, I got back from
generally,
Canada off the fucking 7-month bender, mate, and bought what did we bought? 10 grand worth of decks. Never touched them for fucking 5 years.
It was more like set the gazebo up at the dam at his place, go on the piss and have a really cool sound system.
Just rip in, And then finally when we did our first live event, I'm going, I've got all this stuff here. I've never done it. And then I had a few mates come and help me out and pulled the night off. And I'm like, even though it was my birthday and I was sobered up by the end of the night, I did enjoy myself. I was running off adrenaline. People were enjoying themselves. And I'm like, right, sweet. Linked up with another bloke that's really good at produce some music as well, and going to give it a crack.
Fuck yeah.
And it's one of those things like I fucking love supporting me mates. So it's like every event that Cam does or he's doing something, fucking we'll talk about it. What are you doing,
shit,
bro?
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
fucking DJing at this club this weekend. Go there. Like, whatever.
Play the fuck out of it.
I want all my mates to win. I don't know if that's just, our mindset of
nothing wrong
we've
with that,
created
mate.
something.
Yep.
I just want everyone to win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's this? Well, you said you were saying before when we were having lunch that you songs
We've done
just
our
come out?
first song, yes.
Yeah.
Give Me What I Want, it's called. It's on Spotify.
Can
Oh,
we get
fuck
that
yeah.
up, please?
What do you got? The old...
Well, I was going to say, how are we going to play? 'Cause where are we going to play it through? Those speakers? That's the only one you'd want to play it through. You don't want to play it through fucking
Yeah, well, that's going to have to be
Toddler's
it.
fucking headphones. Let's get this TV
Well, I'll get
going.
the TV
Yeah,
on.
yeah, get the TV going. So when you just, so it was the first, you got the decks right, obviously, but like then the live show was your, like in your guys' live show was your first performance.
Yeah.
How do you learn, when do you learn how to fucking do it? Like
I went and actually did a DJ course a few years back, and then did the course and pretty much didn't go near it again.
Yeah. But you learn how to use this shit.
I did the full course, so I sort of knew what to do, but then I just needed another bloke to sort of give me the simpler version of it, because he was very technical, was probably the
Yeah,
word,
right.
of how to
So it's like,
beat match.
you're the face of it. He does all the technical shit. Bang, bada, bing, bada, boom.
Yeah, but I did work on a fair bit of this song too, but because I'm like, I really wanted a Mark Knight vibe. People would know Mark Knight, and it was good just like going, oh, this should be louder here.
Yep.
Let's and it was weird. You're sitting there singing, and I can't fucking sing for shit, but I'm going, we need to take these blokes on a journey. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just sitting there going, how the fuck do you do this? But I'm
Yeah.
going, that's how me thinking was.
But you're enjoying it.
Loving it.
Yeah, and do you spend a lot of time, or like, do you spend time like away from like fucking around with different sounds and shit, or do you get together with?
Well, he's very good at that. He's done a fair few years. Yeah, Robbie Richardson's his name. Shout out to him. So it's good to find that dynamic going away from Alpha Blokes, so it's not fucking just Alpha Blokes, and it's find someone that's talented in that, making music, and then I've sort of got the cocky to say, but we've got the following where I'll sell tickets a little bit,
You can
and
push
bring
it
it
at least.
together.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And try it that way. Ibiza resident next year for me 30th.
Oh,
Let's go. Fisher, watch
30th.
out. Big call out today.
Dude, imagine that. Imagine that.
The big fella's gotten his first event in the hometown. Couple of weeks' time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's pump that up.
I'm VIP.
Oh fucking. You'd hope.
Yeah,
so.
tickets actually were on sale last night at 6 p.m, which is when this releases.
They'll be sold out. So
If this comes out tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's
Right.
tonight 6 p.m.
So it might be still for sale, it might be sold out.
If it's still for sale, where do they buy them?
Hit the link on Limitless Groove. in the
So
fucking
go to,
story.
Limitless Groove on Instagram.
Yeah, yes,
Hit
yes.
the link in the bio.
That's the one.
You can groove as much as you want there too, because it's limitless.
it's limitless.
Oh,
Chris.
is it, so it is. So it is as
Limitless.
advertised. It is limitless.
Yeah, Limitless Groove.
Because
yeah.
I wouldn't want there to be a limit there.
No, you wouldn't
No,
want
no.
Because I'd be
limitation.
fucking
No,
broken.
fuck.
You don't want a
limit.
limited groove anywhere.
No, fuck
No.
Not if there's grooving to be had.
Fuck no. Because I like groove.
Is there a
Love
day
Groove.
club for us this weekend?
There are day clubs,
Because
mate.
boys,
yeah.
we want to find a similar thing that we found in Perth that you fucking dogged us on. We run
Bucks.
into it. We run into
Sorry, we
it.
dogged you on the Bucks, mate.
The Irish
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might
Bucks.
was getting a bit punchy in the end.
We'd listen.
Look, we got hit with the time, right? We all got hit at the same time by these fucking mad Irishmen that said, "I got a box party. Do you want to come on it?" And he hit me by myself, right? I got to admit, I was a bit shaky at the start too. I got hit by myself, surrounded by 3 Irishmen, to come on this Bucks party with him. I said, "Oh, mate, we'll see how we go." And then come back to the table with you boys. And then Knuckles, the mad cunt, had his fucking Larry carry-on cap on, come flying over.
His Larry
going,
ring.
"Boys, we fucking got a Bucks party to go on." And it's like, oh, righto, we're
mate.
on it. Time every fisherman on that river. Here we go.
There you go. Turn it up. Pump it. We're being to get taken down off YouTube
Yeah.
for blaring this motherfucker.
It's got me.
Yeah, it's got me.
It's got
dude.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tie one onto this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see yourself getting nice and fucking horny. Oh, fuck yeah. That's mad.
So we use the old Fisher, lose it and horns in it.
Fucking oath, cunt. Yeah.
And
This is like...
This was where we wanted to take you on a journey in about 10 seconds.
Get you going.
Because you're like,
Mate.
you have that repeat, then you need to go, what's next? And that was the hardest part going, like, when it goes into this.
Mellow it out a little bit. Everyone's looking around going,
yeah. Chance to look around, try open your eyes.
Yeah.
flutter in the stripes.
A chance to get your bearings, Tom, I think, as they say.
It's
And that's
good,
what I didn't realise. Like, you'll put an extended version on this for DJs, which is like a big intro when you're mixing a song. So it'll just be like does, but sort of a beat before it kicks in.
Right, where you're just looping the fucking...
Yeah, but both songs can be playing, but before it like gets into give me what I want.
So they can mix it
So
together.
they call it
and
like
shit.
the original mix,
Sick.
and then you'll have this like radio edited mix.
Here we go, it's just kicking off again. We'll put the link in the fucking show notes of this
Yeah.
song as well.
Yeah, so
You
put
can
it
have
this
a
way.
serious
The
Fucking line up to this.
The Rocky Glen has got a bit on in Gladstone.
The Rocky
in a few
Glen?
weeks' time.
Yeah, it used to be an old nightclub because we hired the function room up the top because it used to be called Club Candy.
So is that where?
No, this is a pretty rogue pub in town. Do know the manager? Shout out to him, Grazer. But it wouldn't be a normal place probably for an event like this. But we're gonna make it happen.
Fuck yeah,
right.
that's mad.
I'm all about making shit happen when cunts go, that won't happen.
100%.
Dude, but you know what? Like, if you've got interest, the thing that the success you've had affords you is to try shit. You know, like it just gives you that opportunity to try things, and again, you've got that audience that you're able to like at least put it in front of, right, and see how it goes. But like, again, so you've got this, which is, and you said you got a merch business. Is that out separate to you guys, or is that your like?
No, so talking about the sports show, I'm launching something else. I've done a bit of a story by Rugged Society, I'm calling it. Just more, I want everyone to adapt and overcome any situation. I'm going, I've had more fuck-ups in life than I reckon any cunt. And I'm going, somehow we've made our way through it. So I just wanted to do a brand around that with fishing, getting outdoors and stuff like that.
Right, outdoor stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you love that, right?
And I still want to bring the music dynamic into it as well as a lifestyle brand.
Sure.
With the oversized tees and start bringing that, learning about cotton boys, GSM, and the higher grade cotton.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
there's a wild world in that.
Isn't it? Isn't the
mate,
fucking
you start
the
dipping your
fashion
toe into that
game?
fucking world. Jesus
Yes.
Christ. We tried our hand at merch for a while, and it wasn't until we brought on a mate of ours, Louis, to help with all that. He's got this Fired by Flynn, actually. Shout out to you, Louis. We didn't know what a swing tag was, what a fucking weight of cotton was, what the different fabrics were, what different collars were, fits were, fucking
Any of that
tags
shit.
were, bags, any of that shit without him.
Yeah.
It's like it's the Wild West.
And you can't fault AS Colour either.
No, you can't.
But when you want to get the
you pay
heavier...
a premium for AS Colour.
That's right.
But, mate, like we said before, it's all about involving people in your business that know what the fuck they're doing and trusting them.
Yep.
Exactly right.
And trust
Know what
is
you
a-
don't know.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because, like, you can learn it over time and maybe do it yourself eventually, but it's crazy to think that you can just start something that you have no idea about and do it yourself from the start.
How'd you get in the lure game? Because when I saw you guys do that, I'm
Yes.
like, perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Cherry ripe.
So-
Punching on Yabby pumps.
Mate, we've been talking about pumping yabbies as a funny thing of the show for fucking ages because you're pumping yabbies and that's literally holding the bloke by the collar and just pounding his chin. So that's the same action. That's the same action that you do when you're pumping yabbies on the sand flats, fishing for whiting, flathead, the game, and the creek. So
we're marketing to keep the Yabby punt on the streets.
So, mate,
Keep the pumping to us.
pretty much, me and the old boy have always fished the creek.
Game with the creek.
So, me and the fucking old boy have always fished the creek at 1770 where we own a house and stuff like that. And
Yep.
that's me time that I love, right? Like going up the creek there, fishing with the old man, spending time with him. When the soft plastic lures fucking first started, like really cranking, We were up there pumping yabbies. Your shoulder gets sore. It fucking sucks ass. No one goes, I can't wait to pump yabbies.
Is it tough, but also does it take a while? Like you got to be doing it for a while.
Yeah, it takes a while. You got to get the tides right as well.
Knee deep in mud.
Got to get the tides right because fucking it lifts up. So anyway, when the soft plastic game was sort of kicking off, I went, I'm finding a fucking yabby that's a soft plastic because why the fuck wouldn't that work? Anyway,
explain that because again, you're going to find a yabby that's a soft plastic.
So a yabby,
rather than get a fucking yabby, just
instead
have
of pumping
yabby.
Instead of pumping yabbies, I'm just going to
soft plastic
fucking
yabby.
buy one that looks like one in a soft plastic version.
Gotcha.
Turns out there's fuck all of them.
Wow.
Why is there a reason for that?
No.
Right.
And I will get to that.
Okay.
I found one.
But they were shit.
I found one that I had to fucking order out of some tackle shop down in New South Wales. Took ages to get there, and they got harder and harder to get. And like they fucking worked as well, but they didn't have exactly what I thought that should have been in a fucking yabby. Had the big pink nipper that they have, the same orange colour. It wasn't exactly right, and it was just getting harder and harder to get to. And I had it in my head for ages, but I didn't know anyone that made lures, how the fuck to do it. It was going to be too hard.
Yeah.
I just had it on the back of my brain.
And is this pre-Alpha Bloke success? Is it, or just
This is through the whole time. Like, I had this in my head for fucking years.
Right.
And a legend by the name of Pete Noto, he runs Lure Labs. He started making these soft plastics, a local lad in town, and he loved the show. And he reached out and he said, boys, I remember driving a fucking dump truck out in the mines, just fucking listening to a show or something like that. And the message come through, I want to get involved. I love your show and that. And I just went, boom. It just come to the front of me fucking brain. And I pulled the truck over, rang the cunt and said, cunt, fuck sponsoring the show. I've got an idea.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I told him I said, there's no fucking pink nipper yabbies that are all over the fucking eastern seaboard up the coast. Every estuary fish smashes them. And I'm like, there's fuck all. Go to BCF, you're not going to find one. Go to anywhere, you're not going to find one.
Soon.
And and literally said, cunt, I got this idea or whatever. And then it took like nearly a year to actually come to fruition because you had to get all the molds made over wherever the fuck they get made, get replicas done, all this shit.
This isn't good enough. And
what are you basing it off? Do you get like 3D prints of yabbies and shit done?
Yabby,
Send some yabbies over there.
So man, pretty much they had the like freshwater red claw was like the first one that they said, oh, like this. And we just said, no, this has got to be thinner.
Yep.
This has got to be more. These legs have got to be like this. We want the nipper to be like that. Narrow the body down. It was a big process. Got the sample sort of done, changed a couple of things on it. My old man was actually such a big thing in it because it was our like thing that we talked about while we were fishing on the piss.
That must be quite a cool experience.
Dude,
doing that
the
with your old
coolest,
boy.
I'm so proud of it because like had this idea for ages and the old man was a big thing in it. And when we first sort of saw it, we're like, holy fuck, that actually sort of like, that looks like a fucking yabby. There's nothing else like it.
Hectic.
And then like, that's why I was just like, Cam, check this out sort of thing. And he was like, fucking oath. And like went in it together with fucking Pete. That way we can use the show to also bring a fun aspect to shit, like deleting head noise and shit. Go fucking fishing. Get this, go to the creek, you're going to catch a fish.
Yeah.
And it's like, so brought that to life. It's been a massive learning curve and it still is, but it's been successful. Dudes are catching fish on it.
Oh, they are?
Oh,
So
they
they
fucking
I was
heaps of
going to
that.
say, have you tried them out? Are they
Dude, cunts, they're fucking lizard lollies. Now, when we talk about lizard, we're talking about a flathead. Okay. Now, fucking
not a literal lizard.
Not a land
flathead,
Not a
as
land
you
lizard.
boys say, would pound these things into the fucking core of the earth. Now, and it's fucking unreal. I love seeing other people catch things on them, and it's about like, it's so hard nowadays to come up with something that isn't really a thing yet.
Yeah.
Because everything's a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that idea coming like that and having the bloke just come into our lives at that time, it was meant to be. And it's just a thing now where it's just building it and fucking trying to sell it, doing the same sort of merch drop thing, like eventually getting into local tackle stores. And
For sure.
It just suits what we're all about, getting out there, having a crack And just that little idea in the back of me brain that fucking message sparked that day.
It's come from a passion as well. Like you and your
Proper.
old man out there fishing, like panning the creeks, as you say. And then,
Going, why the fuck isn't there a lure like this, for fuck's sake? There's
Yeah.
Yabby banks everywhere.
But does
It's
it
just gotta
make
make
you
sense though,
proud? Does it make you proud that you've produced, not just that you did it with your old man, but that you've produced a soft plastic lure that's shaped as a fucking Yabby that actually works?
That's
Dude,
right.
it's
Have you
unreal.
caught any on it yet?
Mate, like I said before, I've went fishing with it once, windy as fuck, school holidays, boats roaring around everywhere. I got nothing.
I've caught,
So you're 0-1.
But
I've
mate,
caught 3, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
But
So it does
mate,
work.
it's turned out like
3 different breeds.
we designed it to be like at the start a bit of a fucking estuary lure to catch flathead and anything in the creek. But the bloke that we're working with, Pete Noto from Lure Labs, he knew that there was a way to make them versatile and catch other fish, and he put these legs on it. So flathead fishing, normally you drag it across the bottom of the sand and it'll sort of bob around a bit and you leave it and the flathead will eat it. But he put these legs on there that has a bit of a taper on it. So in the water column, they vibrate. And it means that you can fish with them in deeper water as well. And he's caught coral trout on them. Cam's caught a mackerel on them.
fuck.
They're catching fucking everything. And cunts are just sending us barra. Cunts are called
So
barra
it's a
on 'em.
diverse lure.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking diverse lure.
It's just a lull in the water.
Every cunt loves pumping yabbies.
Yeah.
How good is that?
And so it's pretty cool to see people actually catching fish on them. And
What a trip, dude.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
What's it called?
it's the Alpha Yabby.
Alpha Yabby.
So Alpha Lures is what the company we've created.
Yep.
And the Alpha Yabby is the first fucking cab off the rank.
And how big are they?
Mate, they're I don't know, 6 inches?
Me on the flop.
Nah, not 6 inches.
Cam on the
fucking-
flop.
Yeah, right. So they're Cam on the
under,
flop.
under,
when
under
you
6 inches.
Releasing
But
the
nah,
cam. That's the next lure.
yeah, it's got the 3 chins.
But no, like just the normal size of the biggest yabby you'll pump out of the sandbank, pretty much being the Alpha Yabby sort of thing, going off the name of what we've already created. And
sure.
What I appreciate is that we've done our trade, because getting stuff for this business, you're talking to machinists
oh,
for moulds to pump this plastic into, draftsmen learning how to read drawings, all these type of things.
the packaging, man.
Packaging.
Like, fucking, like we've got the packaging proper made so that each yabby fits individually into the packet, and you can just pop it open, pick one out, pop it back, close, and there's 5 still sitting.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So a lot
There's
of
nothing
a lot
worse
of,
than packaging where it's like you may as well just got to cut this whole fucking thing open. And it's just
Yeah, I
like
don't want to
shit
use
everywhere.
5 at once.
No.
I don't need to.
Oh, it looks
So-
better for marketing too, because like the original packets when we're doing the trials, it's just all sitting in the bottom of it, all together.
Oh, yeah,
This is
right.
pull
Mate,
it
it
out,
was-
you
it
can put
was
it back on
honestly-
and grab one out of the 6.
It was
Yeah.
honestly over a year's worth of just back and forth with old mate, and the whole time I knew exactly what I wanted in the back of my head, and I'm like, this isn't coming to fruition until it's exactly what we want, and the old man's opinion as well. That was huge in the whole thing.
Takes time, this shit, doesn't it?
Yeah, man.
Takes
And
ages.
to see it actually work and people catching fish on it, I'm just like, fucking cunt, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, as in to just sit there and go, old Joe has just bought a packet of these, went fishing, caught a big dirty lizard, has a mad feed for dinner, and it's because we fucking thought about making a yabby of soft
Yeah.
plastic, saved him a shoulder reconstruction and a blue with his missus, and fucking off he goes. Like, it just suits
That's
what
a good.
we're about.
That's a good marketing story
Save
right
yourself
there.
the shoulder.
Well, that's
Rico.
right. He saved half a day. He wasn't pumping the
Yeah.
yabbies anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Save your
Caught a
shoulder.
fish.
Save your marriage buying Alpha
Yeah,
Yabby.
yeah.
Mate,
Your missus,
save
not
your-
the yabbies.
Yeah,
Save your shoulder.
grab fish. pump
Save your
him.
shoulder. Let
Save
Pete
your
fuck his
missus, not a
making 'em.
Yabby. That's
So-
good stuff.
But no, it's cool, man. It's one of those things you're sort of proud of. Just one of those things with your old man as well. Like that idea up the creek that time where you're just fucking fishing, going, why the fuck isn't this a thing? Well, let's make it a thing.
Do you ever talk to your old man about the ridiculousness of talking shit with your mate, getting an audience of like fucking like-minded miners, generally speaking, and then off the back of that, you create an alpha yabby,
Yeah.
which is like the fucking alpha of all lures.
Yabbies.
Well, of all lures.
Of all lures, yeah.
How fucking dumb that is on like a certain level.
Oh, mate. I
Absurd.
think that's when the stage is like, he's always been proud of what I've been doing and always support me 100%. But I think that's when it sort of like telling him about the merch drops that we do, or telling him about how this Yabby, like, not going to say how many packets we sold, but like the first run of them that we did sold out within the hour. Then the next lot did the same thing, and people are catching fish on them and that. And I think it's when it comes to that where he's been a part of that process of making the Yabby and seeing it be successful and then growing it like that. Yeah, he's pretty pumped with the whole thing as well. And it's just...
I reckon it comes back to the Australian tall poppy syndrome of people just are waiting for that decline or waiting for you to stuff up in what you're doing. Like you're going, oh, they'll fade out eventually or something like that.
This is some flash
and
in the
people
pan
and our parents are brought up on that.
Yep.
Going, oh, just good on yous, but see how it goes.
Yeah.
But now they're like,
oh fuck, the boys are actually doing
you can
the damn
tell
thing,
now they're all our parents are fully committed.
Yeah.
Going, these boys aren't fucking up.
Yeah.
Well, it's so. I think all that shit's so foreign, right? In terms of the tall poppy, there's always going to be that element of it, right? But it's fuck the noise and all the other bullshit. It's, as long as you have people around you that are pumped for you, then it doesn't. That sort of
That's
stuff
what you need to
doesn't
surround
really
yourself
matter.
with.
That's
really,
right.
Winners.
You know? Surround yourself with goers, and you two shall go, gentlemen.
That's right. Exactly. That's what I put it as.
I've heard that one before.
That's what I put it as.
So
a
he's
quote.
on the tequila today.
Yeah, dude. Mate, I tried my hard. I've been sitting here going, do you reckon I could still run? Do you reckon I could still go for a trot with tequilas? I reckon
Well,
I probably
boxing.
could.
It'll get rid of the lactic
yeah,
acid.
you could.
I reckon I could,
Yeah,
dude.
you could.
I don't reckon you'll get a stitch, mate.
Mate, I reckon I could still. It's liquid.
Like, you
it's
made
not
a
like
light stuff or not, mate?
I had a light lunch. I was very fucking
It's full of
reasonable.
cactus.
There's no sugar.
Hydration, baby.
Yeah, I'm
You did have a very light lunch,
I had a light
octopus
lunch,
salad.
Octopus salad there. And listen, you
But
know,
the best thing about the fucking lure thing is like there's the hard body lures and that which last you for a million times. The soft plastics, you use them when a fish belts them, it normally tears them up, so you need to put a new one on. Unlike merch like a t-shirt or something like that, where you give it to someone and they buy it and that's theirs forever. It's a disposable thing and it's meant to be, the soft plastic thing. So the idea is you get enough people involved at the start, it's working for them, they'll come back and buy more. It creates a fucking thing that just turns over.
well, they need their lures.
That's right.
Can't
They
catch
need it.
fish without lures.
It's a lure ecosystem.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
Lures you in.
Oh,
So, no, it's fucking, mate, it's great to see, and I can't wait to see more cunts catching fish on.
fucking oath, dude. Was there anything else going on with you boys that we aren't yet aware of, or anything in the works?
Mate, the events company's the biggest thing. Like, we've talked to you briefly about the boxing event that
Yes.
we're going to be doing.
Yes.
Yep.
So to create
We intend to be there with furs on, commentating.
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So with the
It won't be
boxing
anything
event,
more than that, if you know what I mean.
with
Any
the
punching.
boxing event, you need an events company to run it through. We have a trust issue, so we're just going to fucking do it ourselves. So, but we've brought other people in that have their own impacts on the company and their own things, and pretty good teams. 5 blokes that we've brought in, and getting 5 blokes to all come together, not living together, to bring a company together takes a bit of time.
I bet.
Yes.
So that's the next thing that's going on. Next year, we're going to be running a boxing event called the podcast Royale.
Yep.
And it's all about bringing cunts like us together that have a fucking audience already to come together and just watch people have a good time.
Have a stink.
And unlike radio, unlike TV, where we're all fighting against each other, I love this community with the podcast thing because
And everyone sort of helps each other out.
because we're all in it for the same reason. It gains exposure. Even for fucking people that might be wanting to invest in podcasts, they see a heap of shows working together and they go, how good's this?
Yeah.
Like, as in, these people are all fucking literally fighting for the same cause. Like, you know, so it's fucking...
Clever.
It's one of those things, but it's not realising, not doing it before. There's so many things that goes into it. So it might get pushed back a little bit, it might not, but it's going to happen. And it's just one of those things that I think it's a big thing for the future. Having an events company in the situation that we're in, you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
And create fun shit for people, because we're all about that sort of thing. Like, blokes love fun shit to do.
Did you guys ever have a business mind before this thing kicked off, or has the success of this triggered it in you to be like,
I always
now
wanted to be
like thinking about like what's possible and what can I do?
I always wanted to be in business. I think I was sick of working for the man or getting told what to do.
Yeah.
I sold a boat the other day and I felt like I had a boss for 3 days, mate, and I was fucking pulling my hair out.
So it's like Cam's always had that idea of that, and I just feel like I've got a pretty good brain to fit in with the sort of fun side of it. Like Cam's very much so the understanding of that side of things and the logistical stuff.
But that was new for me the other day, like a shareholders agreement with 5 people. Yeah. And you're having to talk about death if you're going to let your partner have it. Like
there's a lot to it.
It's okay when it's just an agreement between Tom and Eddie, Tom and Cam.
Yeah, you're right.
And I'm going,
but amongst fucking 5 guys.
And who's the board director?
Yep. Oh, there's directors, there's shareholders, there's fucking...
But
do we bail them out if something goes wrong? It's crazy. Yeah.
But no, that's the next thing anyway, lads, that we're keen to do. And it's more of a thing that we found ourselves in this situation now where a lot of people are invested in what we're doing. And I feel like it's a good way to, like I said before, bring the whole podcast community together to do fun shit, because we're all in the content game. People love watching fucking blokes punch on and shit. And it's not even just that, like the punching on thing, but then you can do any event you want after that. Like we can run, like our community loves the barbecue game, fucking music, shit like that.
The races.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you can do, and you have a fucking business model based on that you can promote on your own show for free and get people going to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Mate, it's fucking exciting. It's very exciting.
It is. And, mate, like we were talking to the boys in the background, I'm like, look, there's a couple of blokes that I reckon can spin a yarn when there's a bit of free time. And I said, I reckon we get a bloke who knows a bit about boxing, like, say, your Danny Greens, and then you have you 2 boys either side of him fucking spinning yarns. It's a perfect model to keep cunts entertained between blues.
Mate,
I think that works nicely.
I'd love to have the ear of Danny Green. Let me stop you there for a second, Danny. What I'm saying, actually...
Danny. I know you got the biggest fight in Australian history, but you're getting a bit lippy,
technical into it, like, instead of just going big right.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the boys,
but we bring different technicalities. Cam, like the fucking
balls are breathing,
like what he's wearing around his pins.
That's right.
Short etiquette,
beautiful.
We did one for KO where we went to and we're like, do we want to do a? We'd love to do a alternate commentary for the boxing. And we thought it was just going to be a leaguey fight. So, like, we'll just get you into trial one. It was a no-limit card. It was like a Wednesday night. We were like, we just want to do, like, the dudes, the ones when the leagueies are fighting. Because there's a bit more, you can talk to that shit, right? Like, with respect, like, if there's a legitimate boxer, you know, like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. In the professional sense. If there's a leaguey, I know what his average fucking run meters are, or, like, you know, I can talk all that bullshit. PCMs.
Post contact.
So, you know, then we're talking out and they're like, oi, we're actually going to get you to do 2 more fights. And we're sitting there, we're like, holy fuck, I don't know. Like, so we spent a whole fight talking about Paulo Akuso's shorts. He had leopard print shorts and the whole thing was about his shorts, the entire fight. We're sitting there in furs talking about, well, fucking hell, I mean, the way that the fur dances off the leopard print is just something to behold.
But I can talk Paulo Acosta's shorts, right? For 4 or 5 rounds, which I did. But then with the fight after that, went for like 12 rounds. And I got to tell you, when you aren't a boxing aficionado and the shorts have done their dash, you run out of shit to talk about.
Well, that's like knowing the game, boys. That's why I want you there to talk about shorts and fucking...
And shoes. And vibe.
And it's 3 2-minute rounds.
And then...
Exactly. If it's fucking
I can sit there and tell you everything you need to know about Jack Edward Archdale, who may or may not be fighting. I'm not going to give anything away.
Yeah. Or
but if he was to fight, I could talk about someone like him.
Yeah, you know, and then you have the Danny Green in the middle of you saying, that was a good hook.
And I'm sure you could comment on me or
Danny
Tom
can
as
give
well
you some
for
more,
3 2-minute rounds.
I could talk about you two cunts.
But even me in the content game myself, like I'm going to be fighting and I hope to win and win well.
Yeah,
but
listen, full respect to Klutz.
This isn't going the second round,
but
boys.
But I've got to admit, what I've been focusing on is my walkout song.
What did you come up? Well, don't give it away. Don't give it away.
I've got a whole playlist that I used to play when I've been before footy games. And every time on the way to the gym and back, I pump it, and I've got probably 3 or 4 that are up and about.
You're trying to work out which one's going to be.
And to be honest with you, that's been my main focus, which probably shouldn't be.
But it's not a bad focus to have. I will say this to the listener. I don't even know if half you cunts know who Tommy is or what he looks like, but he's lost weight. So he's starting to get, at least from my eye, and as commentator, I know what I'm talking about. He's starting to get into fighting weight.
He's tightening up, and Klutzy seems like he's going the other direction. With full respect, love Klutz.
Yeah,
but
full respect.
He's not in fighting Nick at all.
Well, see, the
right
poor
now.
bastard has got the world's most ordinary rig contest in November. Now, that doesn't help with the fight
Is he
camp.
going for back-to-back gongs?
Mate, he's won Australia. He's going world.
Oh,
So-
yeah, he's got the world.
So when are the Worlds?
In November.
Oh, same time. Because
yeah, right.
sorry,
right,
the second,
So-
the
so-
next one's this year. In
Yeah,
November.
so the event will be next year sometime. But I just mean, I'm pretty lucky as in I've been eating well, exercising, lost about 7 or 8 kegs.
Training the house down.
Yeah, going all right. And poor old Klutzy has got to train, but train in a different way because he's got a big fucking thing coming up. The world's most ordinary rig contest.
He's got to keep it ordinary.
And do you know what the other worst thing is? I really fucking love the bloke.
He's a great fella.
He is an absolute legend. So I wish
gonna
I
hurt
was.
to knock him
I
out.
wish
He's
I
actually
was-
one of the greats.
He is. So I wish I was fighting an absolute fuckhead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I wish
So
I
how,
was
do
fighting
you
someone
get
on-
motivated? How do you?
well, I just make up lies in my head.
Yeah,
like
Jordan,
MJ.
like Michael
Yeah,
Jordan.
that's right.
Yeah.
So
And what's the
so-
word? Give any lies you want to let us in on?
Yeah.
No, I've got him kept up tight for now.
Like he owes you
I
money
think-
and he hasn't paid you.
Yeah,
back.
Do we have a finishing move? Like a fucking, is it the step back fucking Sean
Oh,
O'Malley?
Power pumper, mate.
Well, look, he's a fair bit taller than me.
Give him the power pump.
Is it the Yabby one? What's the pumping
so,
Yabbies?
yeah.
Can you pump in Yabbies?
You can't really
maybe.
grab on with another 16-ounce glove, but
Yeah, well, it would
Pumping
be tough.
Klutzies.
But it's actually
Klutzies.
like talking to the bloke who's been training us. He reckons it's actually a good thing that you're not fighting someone you hate because they reckon when you go out there when you're just wanting to kill someone, everything goes out the window. But if you're going out there just to fucking do what
Think
you're being
about.
trained, it's all right.
So you stay sharp.
Yeah. Instead of going out there just swinging like a Southern
What
Cross
are you,
windmill.
Southpaw? Yeah,
No, Orthodox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's one of those things that I'm like, mate, I've always seen these fighting things come up and going, oh, yeah. And I went, no, because like I said, if I'm going to do something, I'll fucking do it and do it as good as I can. So I never committed to it. And it was actually fucking Quinn.
he started this whole
He fucking started this.
Fucking Quinn.
Him and
Quinny
the
can,
producer,
come on, mate.
him and the producer for the Two Flogs started having a few words and they called on a fight. And, you know, they were sort of going to fight. And we're like, yeah, sweet, we'll do it up. And then Knuckles come in like a fucking absolute cyclone and goes,
You can't knock his
We're go-
passion.
And just called everyone out. And then we're like, righto, well, we're
Knuckles, for
doing
those
this.
of you who don't know, he's the man behind Country Trucker Hats.
That's
Callus.
right. One of the loosest humans and a great mate of mine. But very intimidating up front if you don't know him. So, like, he's
a red
announced
liner.
this thing. Yeah, that's right. Announced this thing, and it's all fucking happening. And plenty of energy in the room.
Knuckles
And-
might also be one of the great nicknames.
Oh, mate.
I'm a big fan of the nickname.
Knuckles is
generally.
one of the great nicknames.
I
But
still don't
is
know
it
how-
Knuckles? 'cause you
Knuckles
can
also
blue,
one
or
of
is
the
it
great
Knuckles
dribblers
'cause
all
you're a
time.
knuckle dragger?
Yeah.
But no, it's
But he's definitely not a knuckle dragger.
no, he's done some pretty.
He's a fucking dribbler, though.
He's
yeah,
a
oh,
dribbler.
mate, he's an absolute legend, and he sort of come out hot on the socials, and everyone was like, "Holy fuck!" And then we sort of
He was calling out some big names.
Yeah, that's right. and then we
was
sort of all come together, the people
Some
involved,
big names.
the Two Flogs, us, Knuckles, and we went, right, boys, if we're actually going to make this a thing, we'll legitimise it. We need to make a company, talk to the right people in the right places, and actually put it together. And that's when we've actually realised that a fair bit
A lot needs to go into it. Also, to Knuckles, what's funny about him is like to meet him, and I've only met him. I think I only met him in Perth. I think that's the only time. But
Yeah.
like, obviously, he's a great fella. But he's also stood up one of the fucking great businesses. Country Trucker Hats, fucking absolute monster.
Mate.
Country Trucker Caps.
Bam
Monster.
Bam's just getting around on interviews.
You
with
know
his
what
hat
I
on.
mean? Like, it's a fuck. You see him absolutely everywhere.
But
Despite
also-
the fact that he's an absolute ripper and tearer of note, he's clearly got his fucking head screwed on from the business
Well,
perspective.
mate, he's running around Perth with fucking 9 or 10 hats on the cunt.
Mate,
Just
I'll
give
tell
it
you,
now.
mate,
and
genius.
boy, that's the thing, right? We were at Perth. We were totally switched off, having a good time, right? Knuckles has about 10 hats on him.
Yeah.
And we're going, what are you doing? He goes, don't worry, bros, it's all good. Dan Hooker, we walk past, right? Dan Hooker, absolute fucking war horse. Legend UFC fighter. Walks past, Knuckles, out of the bag. Here you go, big horse. He grabs it and goes, cheers, bro, on the dome.
So
Straight
good.
away, here's a CTC hat on Dan Hooker's dome just because Knuckles had 10 on him.
Yeah.
Volkanovski out of the lift. Volkanovski come out of the lift. Here you go, big horse. Volkanovski grabs a hat. There's a fucking hat on Volkanovski.
It's fucking hilarious. It's smart,
He's
man.
good.
It's smart.
He's very good.
Logan Paul's security guard at the
Don't
UFC.
even worry about Logan Paul.
No, fuck Logan
Go to
Paul.
the security
Yeah,
guard.
yeah, yeah.
Security
exactly.
guard, he goes, hey, mate, big horse, as he calls everyone. Hey, big horse, here's a fucking hat.
Big horse.
Here's one for fucking Logan. You know, straight away, shit like that.
Who was the tennis player there in Perth?
I don't know. But that's the sort of shit that normal people don't think about.
Yep.
Knuckles just has that thing where it's just like that one hat that he had on his hip that he fucking shot out like John Wayne at Dan Hooker that time. Might have got 100,000 cunts buying a CTC hat.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, the Reggies Podcast. You haven't mentioned that, right? So that's the other thing you've got. You guys started on the side, or that's yours.
Yeah.
on the
Tom,
side.
Yeah, so it was one of those things that like Cam and I fucking built what we had. We got the studio there and we had all the stuff there. Groper, the fucking host of that show, like it's his baby sort of thing, as well as mine. But I've always been into me sport. Like obviously big supporter of you boys, Kempy, love me footy. Groper, if he had any other job from a tradesman, it would have been a fucking sports journalist. Like he just loves
it.
sport.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and punting and fucking horses and shit. So I was like, man, we got the time here. We got the space. I'm not working in the mines now. I got a bit extra time. Said, Groper, what do you reckon, Bruce? You want to fucking start a show? We'll talk about sport, bit of punting and shit. And I thought, it's more of a three-man thing that I felt like. And we got this young fella who was Jace Ward, who was doing an apprenticeship with Groper as his apprentice at the time. And we just went, well, let's start the Reggies. And it was one of those
good
things
name.
where
Great
the
name.
Reggies, it's about, and do you know how hard it's been for us to tell people what a Reggie is? Not a Resi, not a useless cunt who eats pies and drinks piss and has no athletic ability. It's the bloke that could have been anything, but had fun instead.
Yep.
It's the cunt who's there for the passion of the fucking club, loves his sport, was good in his day, but just wanted to have a good time.
And he'll tell you about it too.
That's right. That's why we built a fucking fantasy team with cunts like Shane Warne, fucking John Daly, fucking Joey Johns, cunts who were at that level, but they just fucking love having fun with the boys.
Whoever did your fucking branding for that, I remember
great.
seeing when you came, I was like, that's strapping tape dropping down. I was
Yeah.
like, that
Yeah,
is
they did
just
well there.
fucking chef's kiss shit.
And it was just one of those things, mate, where it's like, Cam's into some sports and that, like into the snowboard and the surf and
Well, extreme sports.
So you're a bit more extreme sportsman.
Yeah, but I love UFC. Like,
Oh,
I
fuck
remember
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
top 100 fights, George St. Pierre back in the day. Sitting on my bunk bed, mate.
Yeah,
But,
I used to watch all
and
those
it's one
as
of
well.
those things that I'm like, instead of sitting there with Cam and talking about footy,
Forcing the issue.
for
Yeah.
20 minutes, it's like, it's not our thing, you know? I'm not going to just force that in. So I was like, well, I'll just start a fucking another thing with some boys who are passionate about it. And it's always going to be that more of a niche market, right? Because Alpha Blokes is such a good thing to spread to everyone.
Yep.
And that was more of a niche thing that I enjoy sitting there talking about sport and biffing and punting.
Yeah.
It's
And
good you've
fucking-
got that relationship though, you two boys, where you're comfortable enough doing your own thing outside of the success you've
trust,
already
mate.
had, you know?
And it's just,
Because you can see,
Communication.
you can imagine a world where people might go, oh, fuck, like we've got a good thing going on here. Let's not.
And don't get us wrong, we had a decent chat at the start of it because there's, as we know, in the background of things, there's a lot of things that can overlap and get us in trouble.
Yeah. So
there's definitely that. It was just trust and
yeah. And it's
It's
just
been
about
good.
things of being aware of like who we're working with Alpha Blokes and don't damage that with the other show and that. But that's why like Groper, he's always meant to be talking to people. He's a fucking funny cunt and an entertaining human. So he runs that shit. We were lucky enough for me to say on the Alpha Blokes like once or twice, say, hey guys, just letting you know, starting a sports show.
Yeah.
And it was just that little fucking kick in the ass. And I try my best not to talk about it much on Alpha Blokes because it's its own thing. I want people listening to that because they're fucking keen on sport and punting.
Yeah.
And I don't care if that's 100 cunts a week because like we said at the start of the show, You do it because you love it, not because you're trying to make anything of it. Those boys have both got jobs. We're doing that because we love sport and punting.
Getting together and shooting the
That's
shit.
fucking prime.
Not a bad combo.
So,
it's not a bad combo.
And you know, he loves it. Puts all the stuff together. I sit in there, can yarn a bit, and go off the.
Can you?
Yeah,
You
look,
yarn, can you, bro?
Yeah, look, sorry, man. I was fucking.
Kid likes a yarn.
Yeah. So what can I say? I love a yarn. Sit there and fucking talk a bit of sport, NRL. Let those boys go with the AFL. Jump in with the punting. You have a bit of an all-in bet, and it's just something off the side where you've already got the stuff there, and yeah,
I love it because you go be passionate about that. Because you know how awkward it is if you're not into something, which I've been into stuff too, and I brought up, and he's not into it, and you're trying to sit there in front of a mic and
Talking about-
on video too.
So instead of fucking making Cam sit through 15 minutes of my waffle to do with footy and punting, it's just fucking you do something else. And like we said, it's about having the trust in each other that, and our thing has always been Alpha Blokes is our number one priority.
Yep.
If something fucking happens in Alpha Blokes and something else clash, it's Alpha Blokes.
Like I said, that's what's putting food on the table, so that is your number one priority.
Exactly. And it's just supporting each other in the things that we're doing off the side.
Beautiful.
Boys, I fucking I know
It's been fun.
It's been a good chat, man.
It's been fun.
I've really enjoyed it, I've really enjoyed it. Let's
Free
fucking
flowing.
let's let it go. Let's go and have a couple more techies.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna run.
No,
I don't know if I'm
maybe we'll play a game of pool.
Might
What do
have
you
a game
reckon?
of pool, have a
play
piss,
pool?
live our
I
lives.
like these side stands. Like,
Yeah, these
Oh,
are
a bit of
nice.
class,
it's
isn't it?
amazing when you go
Bit
to
of
different
class.
studios and what you actually fucking pick up.
Well, how's this, right?
It took
You
us a long
boys-
fucking time.
You boys have got the things here, which is what we're looking into. We once knew that we needed a side table, right, to fucking host a guest.
Yep.
We went to Bunnings, got this little cane basket top fucking thing.
Yeah.
And we
Didn't really suit a fucking mic stand. It was a bit too light, so we bought a rock from Bunnings.
I walked into Bunnings and said, I don't know what we're looking for, mate, but when we find it, oh no.
went out to the garden section, found Dwayne Johnson, it's now called, and fucking put it onto the cane basket so it didn't tilt. And that is still there supporting the guest mic.
We had a similar thing with the table. We had a table we had to get. We ended up giving to fucking D or Dave because we were like, you put a fucking mic on this thing and it tips over. To be honest, with this, if you're done, and this is what most people do, right? The table's great. They go, oh yeah, great, sweet, good podcast. And they'll swing it out.
And then bang.
Oh, fucking
Yeah.
just goes.
You need yourself a Dwayne.
Yeah, we
Just
do.
follow it in, mate.
Yeah, just fold it in. Boys,
fold it in.
thanks again for coming
Thanks,
on.
boys.
Hey,
Thanks
we
for
love
having
you.
us, mate.
Congratulations on the success. It's been great to see and seeing all the different things you're doing.
Mate, to
Genuinely.
be honest, it's been an honour sitting here because I've been such a fan of your fucking show, as the hat goes, for fucking many years. You got me through many times mundane shit driving machines out in the mine, so I thank you, and you're probably a big reason of why I fucking was keen to start this. So thank you
Awesome.
very much.
Cheers.
We love it.
Thank you,
Well, let's
mate.
go suck each other off, eh?
Yeah, we're gonna go suck each other off.
Could you two just not talk anymore?